get to break contact towards this A drop. If Shanks can buy any time, this fight could be open, but it looks like they'll already be out. No, contact broken, and it's 1-for-1 initially.
Yeah, I mean, EU going 1-for-1 huge. Also having that information. Hey guys, everybody's coming from this dish side. They're gonna do their best to clear out A main. Fortunately, the rendezvous will get Shanks to safety, and things are even still here in the pistol. Neptune, we're gonna toss out the boombot for some extra information. It's only Hayes left on the site. Oh man, it's not a great place to be. The boombot, the paint shells, the flash, it's all there. And the retake is just around the corner. A nice nebula smoke to cross over towards A main and Android and Som. Well, they've got a lot to get done and not a whole lot to work with as that spike continues to tick. Som gonna go back towards the angle, spots out the first, takes one down, stops the defuse, forced to reload and cannot sneak away here and isn't stunned up. Oh, Tech's just gonna try and fight this one out as Android sneaks away across the ropes. He will go. But a 1-for-1 overall. Meanwhile, on the other side of this B side, it's the exact opposite, right? Rise pushing out towards Arcade, trying to gain that position. And you said they're gonna have to retake A or retake B, and this is that retake B situation. NRG, they use that tree side. They make their way onto their site in the EU. Having a heyday here, still hanging on to the ultimate. The Rolling Thunder not needed here in round 3 just yet. And unfortunately for Rise, they're down to their last 2, and I believe they're both spotted out. Nebula gonna go up and look to play on the inside as the flash doesn't find too much, but that spike is ticking, and at this point for Rise, they can only hope for damage.
Yeah, and damage would be good in towards this round, but crucially on the side of NRG, didn't have to use that Rolling Thunder. They maintained that for a rainy day, but I want to talk about that round a little closer because it was the same setup we saw in the pistol. Heavy push towards the north side bridge of the map, and I talked about in that round.
I think ultimately we still have EU's ult to talk about, right? That Rolling Thunder. And the boombot. Oh no, the teleport taken down as well. Som has to try and fight his way out of this one. No, Hayes is there to back him up, but they're quickly cleaned up there. The mops are out for Rise. No teleport available. A very tricky spot to be in. And speaking of teleports, Shanks get away to safety. Supamen making sure that nobody pushes through tower for free. And it's the snake fight. It gets a little weird. It gets a little wonky. But they know where the spike is, which tells you that somebody from NRG has to go this way. And now they're just completely corralled.
Yeah, they're locked into this one. The only way out would be to take that fight, try and rotate back through Arcade, but Rise isn't really giving any options. They're playing this one close to their chest, but Mark still has utility. He'll flash forward. That's a first for NRG.
A good flash, good frag. Unfortunately, just numbers not in favor. Another great flash, but the Viper util is down, and EU is spotted again. Meanwhile, Shanks atop the site, Rolling Thunder. Now gonna find a couple of stuns. Shanks unfazed for now. Gonna send one back in response, and we'll see if Rise go aggressive, but they just try to contain. Here comes the swing, and it's Tex to find the first. The showstopper gets popped, but immediately stripped away as Neptune falls. A player leaps through the ropes and is answered by EU. The spike should be planted, and meanwhile, the flank is getting cleaned up and are in their praises after that one. A beautiful showstopper in, Cosmic Divide to cut things off. The site is clear. Rendezvous is here, and I'm wondering if they're going to try and take care of that. That they will. Hayes now to get that plant down. It's a full 5v5, but again, the ults, they're just perfect here for NRG. The Viper's pit down on the site makes it near impossible to work your way through this one. Som, although not in a great spot, playing on the inside of that pit, having the tour de force online. And what does Rise have for this one? Right, looks to be a push through A main, trying to find the first. It's Tex on the opposite side of the box. In the corner doesn't go clear. Neptune falls. They're to trade it back, though, but NRG, they're just fighting forward. They're not going to allow for Rise to try and take this space. Instead, they take the fight right to them, and they find themselves in a 2v1. But that clock has ticked so far gone. That pit is still up. Superman has no options. Finally, they'll allow the pit to go down. And sure, the frags are coming. Eventually, Hayes to find the last.
How does that miss?
Yeah, that's a tough place to be. Unfortunately, no harm, no foul, and he's able to get another chance. Meanwhile, he'll be traded out. Tex will find another at Supa to fall, and Tex somehow keeps getting out of these duels. Low HP, but plenty of health to stay alive and help his team. He's also got the paint shells, should he need them. As the crunch on the top side of the map slowly comes to fruition here. EU holding the angle. Neptune first up to bat, and it's EU actually to strike out. Neptune, a home run there. Now looking for more as two players up inside tower. The spike planted in the clock, ticking here in the 3v3. Nice fault line's gonna force him back. A gust of wind would take down Tex, but he's still alive. The paint shells to buy some time of his own is poised. pick one up onto Android on the side. Neptune gonna grab the next, and now Sam trying to fight his way on through it. But it's just too much to ask for the chamber of NRG, and Rise are back to their winning ways. Out of dodge, it does force the ult out, so no showstopper available for Neptune here in this round. Tour de force on the opposite side, though, gonna take down the actual operator. So 4,700 credits just on top of drop. The A-site's been assumed here by NRG. Sam gonna fall. Neptune didn't give up his position just yet. Didn't go elsewhere. Also didn't go hunting, and instead is rewarded with that kill onto Tex, who had snuck away earlier in the round. And sure, the spike is planted, but Hazed, again, stuck on the site. EU just on the outside, but 4 players to worry about as we go Cosmic Divide for Cosmic Divide. Only a small area to work with that these rounds will penetrate, and one of them isn't from main, so EU forced to push forward, and they picked up 3, but they needed 4, and Rise will do it, though. See good to swing favors or things back in favor of Rise as they're looking for their 7th here on Fracture. It's Android gonna sneak away here. Shank's still holding the angle. Shank's not gonna give it up, but Sam will force him to give up the angle. Now Supa, the next one to answer here, and it's just an operator up close and personal.
Sam is in towards the site, and there's a pit to come on down. Rise, they don't really have a recourse for this. The spam would have been their best chance, but now with 20 seconds left on the clock, denying the plant the biggest priority. However, the utility to do so lacking. Derek is dissuaded, and despite the heavy investment of utility, Spike's down, and it's a retake.
And NRG, I mean, they're just cleaning up. Derek, the last one standing. The op will finally be taken down, but a pit still stands. And Derek still needs to try and work through it. The ZU pushes on the opposite side. It's 6-6 even. Up and not only in a big series for them, you just don't want to go winless. And okay, we get that same energy we saw from Rise as they fight for the top side of the map. The crunch works perfectly. And guess what? Mimi, the best present of all, it's the spike right at their feet.
A lovely present to pick up here as Rise will look to be the Grinch in this game. 2-5 on the work back in, and Jinx has already revealed his position. EU holding a crossfire. Contact will be broken. A swing should come from the other side. There'll be Tex for 3, and EU just to close the deal. Sure, a couple frags to come through in the end by
line. Stars go down, paint shells and flashes go out, but a beautiful snake bite can find the vulnerability and the frag onto Neptune. Fortunately, Supa's there to trade it back. It's a 13 HP Texan this time. There's no way for him to survive. Rise with rifles in their hands are slowly chipping away the lesser buy of the defense. Limit it all up to EU and Hazed here with the spike planted. And a 2v4 and only a couple of Spectres as Supa narrowly escapes death, and at the end of the day, singing his prayers as Hazed just goes fishing through the toxic screen. Not long for this world with Spectre in hand. Can only hope. Or it's an economic, there we go, economic damage here in this round.
Trying to isolate these duels, but little does he know that Shanks has taken the long way around to walk that road all the way from the under.
3 players up on top of drop, and EU's ready for this one. Toxic screen goes down, flash goes out, and it's going to force the breach off the angle. Now the Viper's pit also making an appearance here in this round, but Tex, a big kill with the paint shells. Now the showstopper online as he picks up, well, himself and another as Neptune falls, but the pit still stands. Right there. And the Supamen on the inside, EU just on the outside, and that spike, it's not planted. So much damage dealt there from Tex.
Oh, this position is so cool up top because the way the Viper Pit works, if you're looking down, you can see further. So from that elevated angle, he can see slightly further on in. Poised is actually taking the sacrifice here. He was stunned up, so will fall, but this puts Supamen in towards a winning position. He only has to isolate the duels, and seeing that flash fly across his screen shows him where both these players are. He has the wrap, he has the play. The question is, can he finish the job?
Unfortunately, the spike is outside the pit, so they've since healed up. Now the pit can go down, maybe. Oh, he tried to sell it. Usually leans a bit more momentum heavy in Rise, but we're out of the timeout. Back into the game, and it's just the 3 weapons saved on over. A couple of frenzies right behind it, and a split towards the B site. The site is free. Well, the site is open. There's nobody directly on it. I say free, but that's the wrong word because Hazed gonna make them pay for it. All you can really hope for is a spike plant, and at the end of the day, that's what you've netted thus far. Nope, you haven't. The spike plant gonna get stopped by the Rolling Thunder, and EU frags out on the site. A Prime Gaming flawless here for NRG.
Impeccable out of this. For a straight up hit towards A here.
Yeah, just the full send, and it's Hayes caught out in the rolling thunder. Top shot won't land just yet. We go back to the angle as EU fights his way forward. That is not somebody that you want to run into if you're Rise, but eventually he'll be answered. He'll be silenced. But Som's still alive. Can't deny the plant. Can maybe deny some of the long angles out towards main. Instead, gonna use that rendezvous to try and keep the players hunkered down on the side. It's 2 underneath. The fault line goes out. They're vulnerable, but a sliver, and well, now he's the last one alive. A sliver for his chances of survival, as it's a blast pack to do it. It's NRG to pick up map 1. The attacking side will have to wait the first half to get that, but we'll see what he cooks up here on defense. And speaking of Yoros, he's rotating. Oh no, but the attack, they've been spotted. Tex and Hayes, they go 2 for 2 as Derek gets a couple of kills for his squad. Sam has since made his way back over towards this side, and he's got that fake out. He's got that blind side. Out goes the decoy. Another flash to follow. Derek now taken down. Assam will sneak away. The frenzy spray will find Supa. And the last one standing only for a moment was poised. As NRG, they recuperate. They battle back. So worrying about what the meta is and how they want to play it, I feel like is a huge wrench tossed on into things. But they've got the full buy coming into this one. Derek makes some early damage. A dash into garage, and they're gonna be met by the nano swarm of Android. Paranoia goes across the lights. They're shut out for just a second as Android to finally net one in a shock dart. Looking for something extra. Unfortunately, doesn't find too much, but EU says, I don't need a shock dart. Instead, I'll run you down with the Spectre.
Eight on in that it's just been sitting here and hiding. No, that's instead one that he can pop up later, and he'll do it right now, straight into the face of Shanks. Both the fake and the real Yoru do die on outs and out. You in a bit of trouble, and he fights even for the time being. But NRG now tasked with a retake at a disadvantage, and guns have been recovered for the side of Rise.
Yeah, guns have been recovered, unfortunately shieldless are a couple of these Rise members, though. On a 2v3, these Phantoms pretty strong on the opposite end. Unfortunately, they're flashed up. I talked about the flashes available, and still available. You also have the null command and Hunter's Fury should you want to use it, as the angle gets cleared the wrong way. Here comes Hunter's Fury trying to clear out a main as the Sheriff shots don't land, but EU's ult does. This guy has been so hot in the last map, coming on into this one as the Sheriffs continue to ring, and it's only 1 round left. It's going to force Hayes to reload. Unfortunately, his teammates falling on the site, but Hayes is there to trade it out. Now two for the last one, standing with 15 HP. They line up, but Hayes has done too much. Meanwhile, Android, he's been hanging on to that lockdown. It's almost a blessing for NRG at this point that he died in garage that round previous, because they finally have it for what's a free site for Rise, sure, for just a second, but now they're starting to get punished on the way out, forced away by the lockdown, and should just be a free take. Supa up on top of the box, out towards long A, forced to concede the position as the flash has come around the corner. Som flashed up, still finds the kill onto Supa. Derek can't fight for the Nexus. Poised to spray down 2. Fortunately, Android there. It feels like it's been the only thing that's working, right? Half of the battle is getting that spike down, and they've been able to do it here. This time the position's different. It's right at the front of sight. So you're a bit safer from the util. Now they just have to be wary of all the flashes. And look at this. They're not back out towards mid. Instead, they're pushing forward into the defender side of spawn. They pick up 2 kills because of it. Android trying to find something on the rotate over, but he's only good for 1. It's EU and Tex. Now the last one standing. Make it only EU. Full HP in a 1v4. Finally, Rise have seemingly found the winning recipe, and that they have as EU fall.
And Tex is already claiming space here. Ace just has to buy time.
And unfortunately, he cannot. Tex picks up 2 on the backstab, though, and it's actually going to draw some attention of Neptune, who's got that spike in hand. Now he's going to make his way out towards the C site, but 1 kill onto Hayes equals 2 the way of NRG. Tex going big there, no command. It's now since subsided, and here comes all the util, right? Gate crash to go out just in case Som needs it. He's got a couple of flashes to play with as well. Supa getting caught, trying to go aggressive, and there's a spin away from the flash. There's the gate crash to get away, and another flash now tossed out.
Flank
as Poised, the backstab of his own. Neptune just needs to try and hold it down, and he does so almost perfectly at the half. The turret has been disposed of, and the ace site's been assumed. Spike in hand. But what does NRG have for this one? Lockdown on the outside. Neptune can answer back for a kill, so both of the Sovas taken down. Now Neptune looking to go aggressive to try and stop the lockdown, but Android again won't allow it as a dimensional drift across.
No way!
The run and gun from Poised, it's so good. And here comes the neural theft for the information. Where did that Yoru end up? It's right on the spike. He knows where the two are at. They're towards the defender side of spawn. They try to fight for the lockdown, and Hayes whiffs. The magnitude of the whiff sends us 8 to 4.
The post plant, look how much util is still available in way of flashes. One on Hayes, one on Som. They have a lot of staying power, but Rise could re-clear this. Supa's in a position to do so. This frag versus Hayes is critical.
And, I mean, Hayes is looking the wrong way for just a second. We go Paranoia for Paranoia. It's 3 out towards the garage. Now they're fighting here in mid, and Rise are starting to win the fights as the Frenzy forced to reload. It's all up to EU. He's got a shock dart. We'll send it on out. Inside the dart cover, 2 members will go, but the recon bolt going to reveal it. He's just got to buy some extra time. Fortunately for Rise, Supa is on the spike.
No way!
Much longer. EU huge with the Red Bull clutch.
That's absolutely massive.
Right, you've got a player out towards short. You've got a couple players pushing long. On top of that, you have that fake out there. And like you said, the spike, it's headed the opposite direction. Hayes was waiting here to see if there's any aggression from Rise coming out towards C-Long. Nothing there. So the smokes go out, and the site should be assumed. It's only going to be Supamen here. First to contact for his squad, and, well, now he's going to have to wait in order to do so. Meanwhile, EU's position. He's still out towards mid. He's trying to cut off these rotations, but if he goes down, that's a Vandal to be had as Shanks dashes right into the face. EU will pick up 2, but Derek is there to trade it back. So Vandal now to be picked up. Supamen on 1 HP. Going to swap sides, and Rise, I mean, they're looking, they're hoping, they're praying, but unfortunately their prayers aren't being answered as the one rifle that was assumed has now fallen into the hands of Tex. It's 1 HP for Supa. It's a little bit better for Poise, but you can't expect too much. Nice headshot, though, and okay, sure, the round might bag, but they know the op is here. Shank's going to take the shot and maybe look to go back towards the angle. Oop, there goes the flash. The chaos. Not too much to be had as Shanks falls to the Bulldog, the Hunter, Shuri, and all of the chaos is starting to go the way of NRG, and they didn't need the Yoru to do it. Now Neptune and Derek, they have to fight their way back into a 2v4. The spike just now getting planted allows for the From the Shadows to be online. Unfortunately, Hazed sits pretty on top of a shock dart, and it's going to force the save. They want to bring these here on map 2, even after losing map 1, so unfortunately, things not really going their way, and it continues to go just like that. A flash over the top, and EU, this guy just cannot miss. Fortunately, a nice frag on the way in as Neptune picks one up with the fragments, but the dimensional drift all the way into the spawn. Here comes the Yoru onto the outside. They're going to take a couple of shots and will eventually fall to the hands of Som. Flash on the backside, and Poised is the last one standing. A 1v3. The spike is planted. Poised will need this to keep them in the running as he backs away for the rifle. An old command will cut off the abilities, and he's going to be forced to reload. Everybody out towards long, obviously unbeknownst to the Cypher player here of Rise. Here comes the reload. Turret will be first to contact. Nope, it's going to be the op shot. That goes wide. A flash from the top, and Tex will close us out. NRG have done it over Rise. They've hatched their goose egg. A nice #1.